Welcome to KubeN'A, where we interview a bunch of Magnolia staff every month. I'm your host, Elizabeth Kube, and this month we will be interviewing Miss Marlys, our school nurse. So let's go. Marlys, our school nurse, and I'm going to be asking her 10 questions relating to just her being a nurse and other stuff. So my first question is, who or what inspired you to be a nurse?
So I knew from the time I was little that I always wanted to be a nurse. I never questioned it. I just kind of went with it. But I will say, when I was 17, I was in the hospital. And the nurse was just wonderful, and I loved her, and she was so nice, and it really made me know that I was going into the right profession.
And then my next question is, how old were you when you decided you wanted to be a nurse?
I think I was about 4 or 5 years old when I really kind of said I wanted to be a nurse, and I always said I wanted to be a nurse to help kids.
So you knew you wanted to be a nurse from the very beginning?
From the very beginning. I was very little.
So what are some challenges you face being a school nurse?
So school nursing has its own challenges. I think the biggest thing with school nursing is probably the paperwork. It's a lot of record keeping, being on top of immunizations, all the health files and everything. Taking care of the kids is definitely the fun part of the job.
And then my next question is also, how has COVID affected your job or even your everyday life?
So COVID has definitely affected my whole job description. In the past year, I went from being very hands-on and interactive with the kids to doing lots of research about COVID, being on endless phone calls with families and parents, and doing a lot of contact tracing, quarantine timelines. It's been quite a challenge. I also have been working a lot with the Camden County Health Department too.
So recently it's been a lot more about COVID than actual
Absolutely.
Nursing.
My whole job description since I would say since the summer really changed from taking care of kids to more being on top of all COVID stuff. But as we are coming back in school more, it's nice to see the kids again.
What is the difference between working in a hospital environment and more of a school environment?
So working in a hospital environment, I would say it's a little more intense. School nursing's a little more laid back, although in both cases, something can happen at any point to change your entire day. So, the school nursing, you can be caught up on phone calls, the kids coming in. You never know what recess is going to bring. I would say there's some things that are similar, but it's definitely a little more laid back than the hospital.
Because more at the hospital, you have more lives depending on you. Here it's just bandaging boo-boos and ice packs and all that.
Yes. Yeah.
So, do you see older kids or younger kids more?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that I feel like there's a good mix of little ones and old ones, and it's actually why I really love this school, is that I love seeing the little 3-year-olds come in, 4-year-olds, and I also like to have relationships as the students get older and come in to see me.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because older kids, they're more rough, but younger kids, they're more careless and...
Yes, absolutely.
So, what is the weirdest or funniest thing you have experienced being a school nurse?
So, I've been trying to think about this, and I really don't know of one thing in particular. I will say that the little kids that come in, they're always so funny with explaining how they're hurt or how they don't feel well. But I can't think of one thing in particular with this.
So, what is your favorite hobby outside of school?
My favorite hobby is definitely spending time with my family. I have 2 little boys. I have a 6-year-old and 8-year-old boy. They're involved in all kinds of sports and activities, so I really enjoy spending time with them and watching them.
And what is your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant would be Estia. It's a Greek restaurant in Cherry Hill. My husband is Greek, so he introduced me to Greek food, and it's delicious. You should try it
It
sometime.
sounds good. And if the pandemic ended tomorrow, what would be your first thing you do?
I am going on an airplane to a tropical island far, far away, and I'm sitting on a beach. And you can come with me if you want.
Okay. Well, that's all for today. Thank you, Miss Marlys, for letting me interview you.
Of course, anytime.
Bye bye.
Bye.